This is episode 4 with your host, Damaris Avila. Welcome to the Promise, Faith, and Hope podcast. My name is Damaris, and I will dive deep into topics such as self-help, spirituality, literature, and more in efforts to inspire you and others listening to move forward in life. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Now let the show begin. How do you have faith in a difficult season? When you are up against emotions of doubt and turmoil, how do you then put your faith over your fears? By casting your burdens onto God, you can defeat fear. Trust God. When you fall or go through hardships, what do you fall back on? What is your crutch? What do you rely on in difficult times? Denzel Washington once said, "If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith." Although as time passes, it will continuously prove to be difficult to trust in God. In trials and tribulations, you may be so overwhelmed with worries and fear that you never even turn to God. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 through 6 say, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." Trust in the Lord and lean not in your own understanding. If you trust in God instead of your human wisdom, God will show you the right path to take. When you rely on your own will instead of God's will, you may mislead yourself. This is because in any given situation, God knows what to do, and He knows what lies ahead. And when you turn to God in times of fear and involve Him in each action that you take, your path will always be made straight. Human understanding is always subject to error, and what appears to be the right choice may in fact be the wrong choice. But the Lord sees the bigger picture, and He always knows what is best for us. Trust in God. God is able to take your fears and turn them into hope. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7 says, "Give all your worries and cares to God, for He cares about you." Once you no longer depend on your own sufficiency and try to work out problems on your own, and when you realize God is there for you and He cares about you so much that you can cast all your burdens on Him, you can be free of your worries, anxieties, and fears. Through faith, you can become fearless, and once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. In life, we all want to conquer our fears so that we can achieve great things. But often, because we are not perfect humans, sometimes fear can easily overwhelm us. Being fearless is one of those things in life that is easier said than done. Although most limits nowadays are not given by nature, but rather by what you dare not to do. Fear is the one thing that holds you back more than anything else. Fear of risks, fear of taking the first step, and fear of failure. The difference between someone who is winning and someone who is losing has nothing to do with their genetics, and it has nothing to do with their potential, but it is their perseverance. It is their willingness to always show up. This person is willing to take the narrow road when everyone else is following the wide path. The person who is winning is willing to take a gamble and to be consistent. This person is willing to show up. You will miss 100% of the shots that you do not take. Putting yourself out there and showing up, being unafraid to make mistakes, is ultimately what puts someone ahead of others. If you allow fear to conquer you, you will never conquer anything worthwhile. If you are too fearful to show up, your life will be filled with moments of you just sitting back at home and always pondering on the what ifs and being filled with regrets. You will not get opportunities by being pessimistic and unwilling. The fact is that the winners always show up. They are willing to lose in order to gain. The gift of the human body that we have been given, as amazing as it is, it cannot do anything if you don't have the confidence to prosper on, try new things, and even experience failure. We all fall down in life. The question is, what do you fall on, and who gets back up? Do not let fear take over you. Instead, go after it, give it your all. And if you lose, at least you tried. When you find a fear, the fear either creates you or destroys you. Behind every fear you may have is the person that you want to be. The fears that you have are just obstacles to the plethora of victories that can come. Time spent running away from your fears instead of simply unburdening yourself of them is time wasted. Once you become fearless, you will realize that your fears, at the end of the day, were nothing to fear at all. And not only were they nothing to fear, but once you conquer your fear and beat it back, you'll be open to even more limitless opportunities. And you will begin to wonder, what else are you capable of? And what else are you letting fear hold you back from? You will notice that through faith, you will no longer need to run away from your fears, and so many doors will be opened up for you to overcome everything you've been holding yourself back from. If you run away from fear, you are not running the day is running you. So, do not be fearful, but rather have faith in God's plan. The enemy uses fear to decrease our hope and faith to limit our victories. The enemy will instill fear in you by challenging the promises of God. However, remember that faith will always conquer fear, and although this world is ever-changing, God is unchanging and forever faithful. That's all I got for today's episode. If you love this, please share it with someone you love. Please subscribe on our YouTube channel, Promise, Faith, and Hope, and you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Promise, Faith, Hope. Thank you so much again for listening. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate you, and have a wonderful day.